All right. Welcome to yo, it's a Bros Talk Film podcast. Oh no, it's a Bros Talk Film podcast. Oh no, it's a Bros Talk Film podcast. Pass it over, boom, 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 boom. You rap, boom. Boom, boom. It's a Bros Talk Film podcast.
I think you're going to have to be the rapper for the podcast. Is that our theme tune?
It's a rap version of the podcast.
Theme tune.
There's
a rap version before there's a normal version.
We've done some versions.
Have we?
Well, yeah. I've done some versions.
You've done some versions.
So, welcome to the latest episode of the Bros Talk Film. It's the Halloween edition. And we've watched a spooky... What film have we watched?
I won't call it spooky.
Wasn't very spooky. Controversial.
I guess.
I think it's probably one of the most controversial films ever made. What's it called?
It's called The Human Centipede 2.
The Human Centipede 2. Yeah, that's the film that we watched.
Straight in with the second one.
That's it. That's the film we watched.
Well,
if you haven't seen...
the first one, so.
Yeah, both seen the first film. If you haven't seen Bros Talk Film before, 35 minutes of discussion. It's a film that me and my brother haven't seen. We do it in one take. That's it. No editing. Simple as that. So let's get cracking with... I think let's kick off with, rather than straight away discussing the film...
Just because you just said you think it's the most controversial film ever made, that's a bit of a bold claim. Why do you think...
One of.
Okay, one of.
Yeah.
Already backtracking on
it. So it's similar, I think, let's open with, and I think it's kind of the same point, is, the concept or the first film. Because I think the first film really was the big sort of controversy. Obviously, I think the controversy around the second one is the fact that it was banned and there were a lot of cuts. But let's talk about...
Banned?
Yeah.
I don't really know much about the history of it.
Yeah, the first cut.
Really didn't pay much attention.
The first cut of Human Centipede 2 was banned by the BBFC. Okay. It was not going to be released.
Because it's set in Britain. Is it filmed in Britain? Because the first one's
I think so. No, the first one's not. I mean, I think supposedly the first one's... I don't know if it was shot there, but it was set in Germany.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the concept and the controversy around it and everything. Okay. I think that'd be interesting. So, can I ask you, how did you first hear about the first film, or when did you remember when you first heard about the first film?
I don't know. I guess it's just word of mouth, really, isn't it? It's not like something that I'd heard about on
word on mouth or ass on mouth.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
You just hear about it, and it's just one of those ones that everyone's kind of going, oh, it's really horrible. So
yeah.
You watch it because you're like, it can't be that bad, and then it is.
So this is one of those things where like it's sort of it's talked about, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think this adds to the controversy, and I think with the first film it's just that fact of, this film. If you don't know about Human Centipede, which I presume you do, but people are like, oh mate, it's that film where they attach the mouth to the anus, and
yeah, it's just bizarre,
like
isn't it?
it's like, oh my god, that sounds sick. So when you first heard about it, did that make you? I think it'd be interesting to discuss films like this in general. Did that make you want to see it? That concept.
I don't know. They call them kind of gore porn, don't they?
They do. I like to call them gore porn. I
don't really watch many of them.
Human Centipede is gore porn.
I don't know. I get where you're coming from with that, but it's not. It has its gory moments, I guess.
Sure.
But it's more kind of gross out.
Oh yeah, gross. For sure. It's more like, oh god, I can't believe it.
Yeah, it definitely has its moments. The second one definitely has its moments.
Yeah.
Try and talk.
So it's kind of like, it's that thing of like, oh my god, can I put myself through this film? Like, why do you think people want to see it? Why do you think the first one was so successful? And why do you think people want to see this kind of stuff?
It was just kind of, isn't it? It's just people...
Sure, word of mouth, but then why do people then go word of mouth, hear about the film, I've got to see that? Why do you think people... Obviously
because
word of mouth...
Like we said, it's the whole thing of... seeing if it's as bad as
everyone
says it is.
It's like an endurance thing, maybe, or intrigue, or
yeah. Well, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Morbid curiosity.
Morbid curiosity. Is that like a thing?
Yeah.
Ah, cool. Interesting. Yeah. So I guess a lot of people have morbid curiosity, and they want to see stuff like that.
Curious about stuff like that because it's.
So did you go ahead and see the film real quick after you heard about it, or was there a delay?
I think there was a bit of a delay.
When did you watch it? I don't want a specific date. I just want to know how long it took you after you heard about it.
I can't really remember, but it wasn't straight away.
Right, sure. It
might have been a few weeks, month. I don't know.
Sure. Maybe. Because my response,
I definitely didn't rush out and see it.
Sure, you were like, oh my god, I have to see a mouth attached to an anus, and then them pooing in each other's mouths. I have to see that, which is natural, I think. But I'm sure some people, probably were like, oh my god, I must see poo go from an ass to a mouth into another human and into another one, and so on and so forth. So my instant response was like, I remember when I heard about it was a trailer. Someone posted on the Shane Meadows forum. Dave posted on. I think he posted it on the forum there, and I watched the trailer. And I watched the trailer, and I was like, I do not want to see this film. Like I do. I have no desire. I was fascinated by it. One of the things I was most fascinated is the whole like 100%. What is it? Scientifically correct. Like this can be done. You know, which I think is quite a good hook. I think.
I think when we move on to talking about the second film, that becomes more interesting.
Yes, it does. But I'll fit. So I had no desire to watch the first film.
The first film, to be honest, is just not really very good, is it? It's
no. Yeah, I mean, that's
weirdly, this not. Oh, I don't want to use the word justify, but the second film adds to the first in a way, like they're definitely a pair, really, aren't they? They're definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just put it there. Definitely. I don't know. Like, what did you want to say more about the first one?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to say that I had no desire to watch it, and in fact, I was still intrigued by it, and I don't
think I ever had a desire to watch it.
Yeah.
I think it was just a kind of like me and my girlfriend were just kind of like. She was interested, I was interested. We had nothing else to watch. We're like, oh god, we both like horror films.
Yeah. So you're intrigued by it, and that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
For me, I knew about it. I decided I didn't want to see it because I'm not generally into gore porn. I'm not fussed. I'm just like
I was into this. I watched all the Saw films and I enjoy them.
Yeah.
Because they're silly. Just.
Yeah. See, I love the first Saw film, but the rest I was like, it's the same thing. It's just.
Yeah, I totally get
that curiosity thing.
Yeah,
it's just that.
It's fair
which is
enough.
Fine, but it's not my cup of tea.
I enjoy them for what they are. I don't, but then it was kind of like, oh, and then you watch. There's like Hostel and Hostel 2, isn't there?
Yeah,
and it's just like, but like it's Hostel is like, and then Hostel 2 is just fucking terrible.
Well, this is what put me off the Hostel films. I did watch the third one, but
I do. I don't think I've even seen the third one.
Yeah, I saw the third one.
I do like horror, and like one of my favourite horror films with Hellraiser, and that's pretty.
That's
gory.
Kind of gore porny, gory.
I guess. Yeah, I guess you could. I mean, it's not only about that. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't really thought about it in that way, to be honest. But
anyway,
yeah,
detecting a tangent. So
yeah, sorry.
I detected and prevented.
Yeah, we need a tangent detection system.
So I was intrigued by the story of Human Centipede. I actually read it. I read the full synopsis, and the synopsis is where you can read the beginning, middle, and end. So I actually read the entire story, not the script. But yeah, I did. I read it on IMDb because I was so intrigued. I read it before I saw it. And then I finally saw it, not even that long ago, even just a few months ago with
weird, 'cause the story...
with buddies. And it was like a thing of, for me, it was like, I didn't really have any desire to watch it on my own. But I was like, oh, let's watch it with friends because it was kind of cool. It was like, I don't know, I quite like, I got a friend, Dom. I quite like watching horror films with him because I quite like that thing of being together with someone else. And it's quite fun with Dom because we're always like, oh, I can't believe, why are they doing that? Like, oh, that's great. Oh, why is that happening? That's not ideal. Like, you know, it's not as fun on your own. I really enjoy watching horror films. And it was the whole thing of like, they knew, the people I was watching, they knew what it was about. So it was kind of fun. It was like, yeah, it is about that. And how does that happen? And it just made it fun. And it was actually a really enjoyable watch. Although I do agree with you that the first film is bad. It's a bad film. But let's not.
Yeah, in saying that, I don't think it's necessarily and with the second one, I don't think they're necessarily badly filmed. They're bad as in they're not. The story in them isn't interesting, and
right.
It's not.
Well, let's start talking about the second film then.
Yeah, let's move on to the.
I personally think the first one's bad. Like.
Yeah,
it's just the concept, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know, and that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But the second film, I thought, just a general quick summary of what I thought. I actually liked it. I thought it was way better. Well, way better. I thought it was better than the first film. Absolutely.
I wouldn't really recommend it, but
no.
I do think. I more so in the second one. I think they have a definite style. There isn't like, you can't look at it and go, well, that shot or that the way it's put together. It definitely has, like, the way it's put together. It builds a suspense and a tension and the way it treats its character really, the main character of Martin.
Yeah,
he does make a kind of very. He develops. He's very creepy, and beyond just him doing weird shit.
Yeah.
Like the way the guy acts and the way they frame him.
Yeah.
The way they shoot him.
Sure.
Like there's.
But overall, just the general overall thing, because I think we could talk about you know, his character in depth. But just as an overall thing, you thought it was a better film than the first one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Just watch the light. The light is blocking. I think it's
I
your leg
got
or
a massive shadow.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I think I was
talking about good
lighting
filmmaking.
And filming.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've thought generally overall. Just a quick
not even generally.
review of the film.
Yeah, it is much better than the first one.
Right. Cool. So, as a film, you liked it.
Up to the point, and then it went.
I actually sort of agree.
Yeah,
I think
it might have been because we watched the uncut version.
Oh yeah,
and I'm guessing the bits that were cut might have been the bits that probably we
watched the uncut version.
If you've seen it, where the woman escapes and what happens there, I just think it's like there was everything else in the film actually felt like it had a bit of a purpose. Well, not a purpose, but it fit, and it was kind of like, okay, I get this follows this, and then that was kind of like, well, nothing really came of it.
What are you on about? Sorry,
the girl escaping.
Right. Okay.
That whole thing of her running out and giving birth.
So I mean, I agree that the first.
I think it was more poignant just to leave her dead. To be honest, it was more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, obviously, I probably a lot of people watching this probably haven't seen the film.
We're going to spoil it
idea to mention.
Even though I don't really want to talk about.
I recommend you watch it. But anyway, so you said I think I'd agree. You said when I said do you like the film, you said you liked it to a point, and I actually felt the same. Like the first half, I actually sort of really enjoyed. The second half, I found repulsive and disgusting.
Yeah, but that's kind of what the film's like.
Of course,
that's what it's about, and I could take that up until that point, and then I would just. But even then, it's kind of like because for me, like I said earlier, I think this one makes almost the first one a bit stronger. Because
I'm interested in that point.
For me,
because 3 points have been raised now. We will discuss each of them because we've been a bit all over the shop. So one is we'll discuss it now just to sort of think of it. Okay. So one is your thing that you're saying that it makes the first one better. 2 is the thing about the the baby and that stuff. And 3, the other point that we've raised is about the Martin's character. So we'll discuss those 3 things. So go on that.
Which one would you
First
want?
one.
Well, okay. Well, I think the quickest one to knock out is just the girl in the car escaping the...
So there's a bit in the film where a pregnant woman escapes who you think is dead. She escapes.
I don't think we have to go into detail what actually happens. I don't.
Well, we do because they haven't. Some people might not have seen it. She thinks she's dead. She gives birth to a baby in a car, and then she stamps on her own baby to get away.
To accelerate, it's fucking horrible.
Yes,
and it doesn't. It's just there to be disgusting. Like,
yeah, I mean that's straight up.
You could say that about a lot of the films, and that's what I don't like about some gore porn. It's just there to be disgusting.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's what I don't.
No.
I don't.
And
like
the bit where he has sex with the whole centipede is just like. I found that uncomfortable as well because of the whole him being molested as a child and then bringing up some children that are molested. Tend to mutilate their genitalia and everything. That's just horrible. That's using real events that people go through and putting it into popular culture that's something that happens, and I'm probably sure that,
okay.
The people that have suffered that kind of thing have been through enough. They don't need a film going like, oh, you probably do this, don't you? It's just...
Probably don't think they'd watch it.
Probably don't think they'd watch it. But they might not know. They might not realise that character... I mean, that's the first time you realise he's been sexually abused when he was younger, and they then instantly say, So it's a bit... I just felt it was unnecessary. And it made me feel uncomfortable. And yeah, I just didn't like those bits. But yeah, that's basically that. It's just...
Okay.
I think that's where the film just went into... I know that's weird to say of a fucking film called The Human Centipede, but it just... Yeah.
So is that the 2 bits that you disliked the most or made you feel most sick?
I just felt like they were pointless.
They're pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like...
I definitely agree with you on the baby thing. I don't think
it was just
she needed to stamp on. I found it. I don't really mind it too much gore porn. It was kind of believable, but I mean I was with it to a point. I was like, fine, like run out. You're pregnant. Blah blah. You run out. You go into the car. Even the bit where she's pregnant and gives birth to the baby, and yeah, fine. Yeah, take it. That's shocking. Oh my god, I even had to think of, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, which I actually think is a good, that's what you watch a horror film for.
Yeah.
Stamping on it, no. At that point I was like, that's too much because I can't believe it. For me, a mother who's just given birth in that situation will not stamp on her own baby. And you could argue, well, it was to get away, but no.
She looks down at it. No. It wasn't even, to be honest with you, it wasn't even the fact that the stamping on it. It was that she kicked it out of the way.
Yeah.
She looked down, kicked it, and then and it's like, no.
She wouldn't do it. She's locked in. She's got time. Pick up her baby, put it beside her. No, come on, baby, let's get away from this mental man.
It was silly, and nothing came of it because it's not like he got caught.
No,
or she brought the police.
Yeah.
If maybe she'd done that, I'd feel a bit better about the whole sequence.
I felt 50-50 about that whole little chunk of the film because I thought was really strong about the film, or really interesting at least, maybe not strong, is actually which the first film has a lot of, there's a real lack of hope in this film for the victims. Real lack of hope. It's very bleak. They're all just put in that situation and that's that. They're just put in it. So the one moment you get of hope, or a couple of moments, they happen one after the other, is that bit where the woman runs out and you think, oh my god, she's going to escape. Maybe she's going to escape. Maybe she'll get the police and maybe this situation will, obviously it's already pretty fucked. But apologies to swear, but that was the situation. And, so I thought that was a good bit to have a bit of hope. I liked her running out and, I thought that was kind of a good scene. But I did not like the stamping on the baby. I just thought that was there. Not cool. So why did you think that it made the first film stronger?
Well, that's what I wanted to lead on from the first. Why I think that bit is so pointless is that they've got this whole... It starts with the guy watching the original, and I think that I was always interested in that as a premise of a sequel. That the first film is a film in that world, and he's inspired by it.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's actually a clever way to
It's
do
a
a
very
sequel
good.
to it.
I think it's
And
a very
it's-
good idea for a sequel.
What's good about it is they then take that as a theme, as a kind of like he is mimicking the film, and it's almost, I think, I don't know if I'm crediting the director with too much here, but it's almost the whole film is a commentary on film versus real life.
Yeah.
And although, alright, like silly things happen and it's still a bit hyper real and it's a film, all of his failures, like he kills a couple of them trying to do it, trying to do the surgery, and that, like you said, this whole 100% surgically, they keep mentioning that, and they keep mentioning, you could do this in real life. So it really feels like they're commenting, like going like, we said that, but could you? Like, really, could you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What would happen if actually...
Yeah, exactly. And he fails it,
like...
fucks up so many times. And I really feel like it is that what they were going for was a feeling of, like, film, real life. And a kind of a commentary on... like people saying how films influence people. Clearly, like, Martin was already pretty fucked up to start with, and he just obsessed about.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's why I'm saying, like, all the other stuff, like where he's cutting open the guy's buttocks and doing all the other little bits, like, and how it's all so messy and unclean. Whereas in the first film, you don't really see the surgery, do you?
No, not much.
They just kind of wake up and it all feels very clean, and he's a surgeon and he's created this.
Well, see, this is the interesting thing, isn't it? Because
it contrasts it, I think. And that's why I say it makes it
the interesting
stronger,
thing about Martin
because it's
is
quite a nice little contrast between the two.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right. I don't think you are giving the director too much credit. I think it definitely is a comment on that. It must be. Yeah. And I think that's really clever. Is, you know, people say, you know, censored films, they're all like, you know, violence on screen makes people violent. You know, this film made me do this. And actually, I think the film Human Centipede 2 does actually quite cleverly say that, this is what I read from it anyway, movies don't, you know, make people into maniacs. You know, obviously Martin in the film is inspired by what he's seen, but he is already, you know, even arguably, obviously he's already seen the film by the point we meet him, but before he has seen the film, he is a pretty messed up individual already.
Yeah, like you say, you can't really say that because he's obviously already obsessed with the film. But I think you're right. It's
but you
more
can, because
about...
the film was definitely released, because of his age, the film was definitely released.
Yeah, but you don't know what
messed up he was before to see the film.
But yeah,
still,
you can see he's obsessed with it, and it's not like there is shit that's other in his life that is worse than that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That is, and there's so much in there as well that's kind of like stuff he does that's unrelated to the film. It's how much time I got?
10 to 11 minutes.
Oh, fucking.
Let's talk about Martin's character.
Just got like murdering his mother and like, you can see it goes far beyond that, and that's why I think all of the other violence and the stuff creating the centipede and that kind of stuff is a lot more justified than some of the other stuff that happens, because it's making that point of like, it's gory and stuff when he's cutting the people and breaking the teeth and like, and they're even the bit that mimics like the first bit in the film where, you know, they eat the shit. Yeah. Like in that first one, you don't really see it. But in the second one, it's really messy. So it's kind of like, yeah, that's what it's like.
Well, you
in the
do
film.
see it in the first film.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do see that happen.
I can't remember.
But it's not as messy, for sure. It's much more messy and horrible.
This is much more messy and horrible through the gore and the gore and the surgical procedures and that bit. Yeah. And I think it's saying like, yeah, that's a film. This is more real.
You're right. It's more gritty, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely. I think you're right.
It's upping it, but for a reason. It has a reasoning behind it. Whether you agree with that reasoning or not, at least it can.
I definitely think the film has like artistic merit, much more than the first one. The first one, what does it say? It doesn't say anything for me. It's just a concept movie. The second film actually does make a comment on.
On the first, and if that was the plan,
not on the first one, on censoring and people, it's fun. It's so interesting. It's the whole story is fascinating.
On the relationship,
it's commenting on. Sorry, I just want to finish. So
yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
Just realised I farted as well.
Lovely.
I apologise if that came out of the sound. So I think it's fascinating that. The story of the film, around the film and everything, it's commenting on censoring and how films influence people at the same time as...
It's commenting...
Can I finish? I can't finish. No.
Anyway, come on and finish before we run out of time.
It's commenting... Don't stop panicking, it's fine. It's commenting on... like censorship in general and how films influence people when they watch them, and it's commenting on that, and it has been cut and it has been banned. When the film was the first cut of the film, which is the cut that we watched the uncensored one, was banned by the BBFC. It was not allowed to be released. Then the filmmakers disputed it, and then what happened was the BBFC watched it again, and then they decided to make several cuts. So that's just the story.
I don't know how much. To be honest, I don't know how much it comments on censorship and stuff.
Maybe not censorship.
I think it's more commenting on the relationship between real life and films, and that's an interesting thing, because I think there's a lot there you do it in a lot of different ways, but there's a lot of stuff people believe and ideas and stuff they get from films that people believe, and films and television that they believe to be true about the world. And it's like it says, the first one is 100% accurate. It's like it probably fucking isn't. That's just marketing, and that's that's what the second one is saying.
Well, because he doesn't do it very well.
Everything you're told.
Yeah, he uses a staple.
Yeah,
and he does. He fails at the butt cheeks. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. That is really interesting.
Yeah.
So should we do? Do you want to guess what the cuts were, or do you think that's obvious?
Oh, what was actually cut out of it?
Yeah, what do you think was cut?
Well, I think that
because we watched the uncut.
I think the mother escape scene.
Ding ding. Let's see if we can get 3. Yes, the mother escape scene wasn't totally cut, but the seeing the baby and references to the baby were cut down a lot more in the.
Yeah.
Any others?
I think maybe the bit where he has sex with the centipede.
I think I've only briefly looked at the list, so I might get this wrong. I think he does have sex with it, but it's heavily cut, and I don't think you see his penis. There's probably a lot less cock in the UK. So if you watch it on Netflix, you're probably gonna see less cock. Sorry, if you're a fan of penis. Barbed wire wrapped penis. So you're probably not going to see that.
Yeah.
So that's it. Ding ding ding.
Number 3.
There's more. There's 27 cuts total, so it's a very easy game. This.
Oh right.
Let's see if you can get 3. No, I just want to see if you can get 3 because
out of 27.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was doing really well though. I thought I was doing 2.
You are doing well.
Well, yeah, I thought it was 2 out of 3 though.
Yeah. No.
Okay, another one probably. The bit where he props the mother up on the chair.
Oh, you think so? I don't think. I haven't gone through the whole list. Maybe. So.
I mean, I guess like a lot of the 27 cuts are probably just general.
Yeah.
Toning little bits here, toning bits and pieces down.
One guess that I've got correct because obviously I had my guesses before I looked at the list.
Yeah.
5 minutes left on the SD card as well.
Oh my god.
Excellent preparation.
How much time we got left?
It's fine. Don't you worry about it, mate. You got 5 minutes left on here as well, so that's all good.
Well, that's all right then.
What was I going to say?
Need the timer. the thing you get.
Oh yeah, teeth brushing out.
Oh, right, yeah, I guess.
I want to talk about Martin's character. I thought he was an excellent, well-rounded character, and I think that the fact that he was abused as a child really did come across, and
Yeah,
I liked him.
I don't think.
Sorry, yeah.
I just think connecting something like that with someone that's doing something like that is.
I think I disagree with you on that point.
No,
I don't. I honestly, I think, you know.
But
yes,
it's saying
right,
people that are abused grow up to be.
No, it doesn't. No,
there is a massive fallacy within child abuse cases, and it's a widely believed thing that people that are abused grow up to be abusers.
Sure.
Like you hear so many times that people rape, someone
I
that
see
got
what you
raped,
mean.
they were probably abused when they were younger. And it's like those people have to live with horrible things their whole lives. They don't need one more stereotype. They have to be. And I've read and I've listened to interviews with people that have been abused, and they believe that myth. I mean, I think there's a graphic novel about this.
Is it a myth though? I mean,
this guy who was abused and grew up, and the whole thing is about him having this like monster over his shoulder that he is deadly afraid of when he is going to start abusing people. Right, he's got this thing inside him, and he suddenly realised, I don't. Like, I'm not gonna do
I think you're right. Yeah,
and I think it's all right. There might be people that have been abused and have grown up to be abusers, but I don't think we can necessarily. I don't think
it's a shame to have that stereotype.
To perpetuate that.
I think you're right.
Urban
but I think
legend is a bit.
I think you're right, but I also think it can happen, and I do think it's a good bit of characterisation.
I don't think he needed it. I think he could.
It would be worse if you didn't have it.
I think he just hit the way he is.
You think it would just be better if you had no reason for what he was doing?
I don't mind, but the abusive mother, I don't mind him being abused. I think the thing that stepped it too far was the genital mutilation thing. But I think he was. I think horror bad guys need to have a bit of mystery about them, and I think
disagree.
Yeah,
I absolutely disagree. I think that it's much better to have that characterisation. You understand why he's doing what he's doing. I'd rather to have the mystery. It's boring. It's like, well, why is he doing it? If I don't know why he's doing it, I have no sympathy whatsoever. I think
it makes him. I think he would be creepier. He would be weirder.
He'd be boring.
He'd just be no.
He'd be like the guy out of Creep, which is, in Creep you have no idea what the monster is, what he's doing. And you think, oh, it's great because
no, but I still think you've got all the mother stuff, and I think you could still have stuff? This.
She's not abusive.
Well, she
cares for him.
No, she tries to stab him in the bed, Ryd, and constantly talks about wanting to kill them both, and blames him for her dad being in prison.
All right.
But you could have him being an abusive father, without the you know what I mean. You could have him. You could just have the hint of it that he was abusive and. He, tormented him. I don't mind him being sexually abused. That's weird to say that, but I don't mind the fact that he was. I think it was the genital mutilation thing, which went a bit far.
Well, I think you're right. I definitely sympathised for him. I think that's good of an antagonist.
I didn't sympathise to him at all. He's a horrible, horrible little creature.
Yeah, sure, but.
That's not on the actor. If the actor ever watched this, I'm sure you're a lovely man. That film is not very flattering.
What about when he killed, man upstairs? He strangled. And I quite like how he was the first one that he started cutting into and that sort of stuff. And I thought it was quite good.
I mean, when I say I didn't sympathise with him, I didn't like him.
We have to finish.
But there are bits I felt sorry for him.
Yeah, sure.
I felt sorry for him when the guy was shouting at him. I felt sorry for him in lots of... Not sympathise, but I felt pity for him.
Sure.
I think.
I also real quick point, really like that he didn't say anything. I think he said one word in the entire thing. And I think that's great. And I like how he had this little...
I got excited. Yeah, I got to a point in the film and I suddenly realised he hasn't said anything, has he?
I think that's great. And actually I think the film could have done with a lot less dialogue.
Yeah, and I do think he he is a good actor. He made him really fucking weird and creepy.
Absolutely.
Like through no act, just acting.